Ugh. Hey, sorry, I just woke up. You can probably tell. I was gonna make a video about Decentraland because I've been working with Empress Trash. If you know her, she's a pretty, pretty big figure in Tezos, the Tezos art scene. But also, she's also very, very involved with Decentraland, and we've been talking about potentially doing something like a collab for virtual events in the metaverse, which is Decentraland. And yeah, and it gets a little complicated because there's a lot going on in Teia right now. So I figure, oh, well, I should just make a video about all the updates that have been going on, both in Teia, also teia.cafe, which is the startup between myself and Joe Simon. We've been doing things for a while. Most of our work has been focused on doing updates to the Teia community site itself. And so, yeah, so, okay. There's a lot. I'm like, this is like unrehearsed, maybe you can tell. But I'm trying to think, which is the easiest thing to talk about first? Well, let's talk about the features, because that's the easiest. So if you go on preview.teia.art, and if it's, especially if it's been a while, I know lots of people have been kind of, oh, I'm going to turn on chat just in case anyone drops by for some reason. Who knows? I'll keep it on the side for now, but if you want to say something, just do it. Is it working? Tezos community stream. And okay, it's working. Not on Kick. I don't know. I was trying that out for a little. Okay, as long as these sites are working, it's fine. Okay, so let's go through it. Move it on the side, just it's a little easier to see. Oh, I should also. This is what all my streams are like, by the way. Just me on my freaking computer. I think it's working, right? The sound, is the sound working? Should be. What was I looking for? I'm looking for. Oh man, we're talking about Ensh. Speaking of, there it is. Yeah, this is good. So, one thing is Tezcon. I'm gonna put this up here. Okay, whatever. It's off, but whatever. I've been. I mean, maybe it's pretty obvious, but I'm, not sweating the details as much these days, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that much. This is like kind of my streaming setup, and it would look nicer if I had more time to line it up correctly, but this is good enough. So, but I wanted to show this flyer that Erica, aka Normal is Toxic, another Tezos artist, has been since the Hickendung days. Tezcon There's just so much stuff. That's what happens when you, there it is. Happens when you post stuff online every day. Oh. So yeah, this is like kind of our, pretty much final version of the flyer that we're going to be distributing around Seattle. So it's Tezcon 2026, July 11, 2026 at 4 p.m. Yeah, that was on purpose. And then we are also going to get a print ad in The Stranger. And if you've been in the Seattle area, that's like kind of the premier like art magazine that gets distributed to all the artsy places in the area. So yeah, we're pretty excited about that. And then this will be in here. The lady in the marketing told me, oh, there's a lot of text. I know, but there's a lot going on, like, but I think, it's we're leaning into the Ensh thing. And we were just talking about Cory Doctorow today in Discord. But, the idea is kind of like, hey, like, everybody kind of knows everything's getting kind of crappy pretty much on every level, right? Ensh, this came from a book that Doctorow wrote about like how software becomes crappy over time, right? And it goes into great detail. But we're kind of taking a little bit of liberty with it because I think the feeling of like everything getting worse is kind of the same, right? So we're trying to just like kind of gather lots of creatives and, we're just kind of bring them over into this one big event and see what happens. And Erica's Voices of Iran project would be very interesting because, we had connections and like, we're in touch with a lot of people in that region prior to the war, but then as soon as the bombs started dropping, it's been very tough to get in contact. I heard that they are rationing out internet because, the government there is like kind of paranoid about people doing things. And so, but anyway, I don't want to talk about politics here, but it is kind of a, I think, noteworthy project because, we'll be able to get kind of the opinions and like perspectives of people in that region directly. And it's kind of interesting that it's happening through art, right? And more specifically, it's happening through NFTs because crypto, part of the value of it was like it's censorship resistant, and it seems like very fitting. We're not going to talk about the crypto stuff as much this year, but it will be, yeah, it's going to be there, right? Like right now, crypto has a very bad reputation, and I've been to events where they just won't let me talk about it at all. That's how bad it's gone. So we're gonna keep it kind of on the down low, and maybe it's better that way. Who knows? Okay, it's very hot here. Summer's just coming around, and it's getting hot and dry, and okay. So back to Teia. So Teia, this is kind of some of these features have been around even prior to this month, but I'll just kind of go through most of them. You'll notice the menu is a little different because we added more things. So this text thing, I just wrote a blog. It's basically a blog. And so you can mint, quote mint. These are technically NFTs in the markdown format. And you can make posts about whatever you want. Just today, I made a post about like, hey, Tezos people should, believe in themselves. That's the gist of it. I do talk some shit about other things, but but you can check it out yourself. Just go to teia.art/text. This is already on main, so. And it's nice to see that people have actually been using it. People have been, they're posting poems. This is probably someone from TTC, the Tezos community. No rules, just feels. They've been posting. These are AI, I'm assuming, AI things, but it's generating like a report every week about like, hey, this is what's going on. Look, Feddo tripled their usually weekly. Oh, it even has a link to it. That's nice. Meanwhile, Ryan, AIM, and Do expanded their reach, securing 3 distinct buyers apiece and demonstrate. Oh, yeah, I bought some NFTs from Fendo because they were testing something out. Wow. So this is a great example of like AI put to good use because I'm mostly an AI skeptic. I think we're in a huge bubble right now and it's going to be terrible. But it does have some uses, and this is one of it. And it's mostly because the data here is like transparent, right? If the problem with AI is not the technology itself, the technology is fine for what it does. It's mostly the way the data is handled that is the problem, especially when it comes to like copyright and IP. So yeah, so this has been going on. It's been around if you want to check it out. We also have a official post. It's mostly just me because I'm the one, kind of updating these things. But we will have moderators and the core team members on the multi-sig, the people that run this site, they'll be able to make official events. And we're going to expand on this later as it goes. So yeah, keep an eye on that. We also have our copyright marketplace. So if you want to register your copyright, some people have been using it lately. We haven't been pushing it much, but nice to see. But basically this allows artists to sell their usage rights to people. So you can register your work, add your token artwork. I guess this is just going to be a huge compilation of a lot of things. So I'll use my own token here. Well, it has to be my token because you can't register other people's works. It won't allow you. So yeah, here it is. There's no picture because it's just text, right? But I can say like, hey, if you want to use my blog posts and for a radio broadcast, or if you want to take some of the text and put it on a gallery, I don't know, right? It's a little awkward because it's text, but imagine this was music or images. Like you can actually sell your works, and this gives people who own your works the rights that you, the artist, determine. And like this opens up the possibility of people selling their works for hundreds or thousands, or depending on how popular you are. You can sell this. You can make like good money doing this, and this is how most of the entertainment industry actually works. So, except this is all on chain, and think of it as sort of like an agreement between yourself and the person you're selling your work to, right? It doesn't have to be a fancy gallery. It could just be like a small business just looking for a logo, and they want to use it, and they want to do it the proper way, right? They want to get the rights from the artist, and you can do this really quickly without having to hire a lawyer, right? And that's really the main benefit of this. Okay, so there's the copyright. This is still the same. Okay, and then now we have integrated messaging. So if you notice, you have to go to preview because it's still in testing. But you notice here, like this is my work. There is a new tab here that says comments. And there's nothing here because I just did this a few minutes ago, but if I can put in order to comment, you must own one copy. One, I guess it's editions technically. At least one edition of this NFT. You know, that's the let's add some music since it's gonna seem like it's gonna take a while. Yeah, if you want your music to show up here, just mint audio files on Teia. That's it. It's just pulling it. This is a decentralized radio. So it's nice to see, like, some people have still been, they've been minting lately, and new things have been showing up in the latest feed. So, you know, it's our community is small, but we have very dedicated people, and that what keeps me back. Yeah, so you can comment on here. And if I tried to do that on some random work, let's just do this one. Yul, I don't know who that person is, but right. So you need to own this token to join the conversation. See, let's see. So this gives an incentive for just random people to buy the NFT. You know, like actual, you get actual benefit for owning one, and no BS. You know, there's a lot of places, like I remember, I don't know, it was really weird because like they tried to do this with CryptoPunks back when I owned one, and you know what they did? They ran it through some bot on Discord, and you got access to channels, but that was done all manually, you know. And I'm like, well, anyone can do that, and it's like, well, what's the point? You know, like I didn't see what the point was. Like anyone could do. I could make a Discord server for this work if I really wanted to, but why? You know. So anyway, yeah, that's a part of the reason why I sold it, because it's just like what are people doing? You know, But here it's all on the blockchain. So if I buy this, immediately I'll get access to it because everything's on chain. That's how the messaging system works. You might have noticed when I was leaving this comment, it asked for a transaction. So every comment here is technically, it's not an NFT, or you could maybe, but it is on the blockchain. So, and every comment you make will also help contribute to Teia's treasury. So you can think of it as, you know, the more you use it, the more you're supporting the community. All right. So messaging not only, so this is called token gated messages, right? Token gated comments, because in order to participate, you need to own the work. We also have one for Teia tokens. So this is for more governance things. This is the test that we have. Oh yeah, we've been doing it a lot. Same deal, except the token is a Teia token, which is a membership token. So if you're not sure how to get one, just let me know or talk to one of the core team members, and we're happy to get you one. You know, and in order to participate in the polls, to create a poll or to comment, you need at least one Teia token. You don't need a lot, just one. And I think they're pretty cheap now because it's not really designed for speculation. Okay, so then, like I said, there's a lot going on. But you also have your inbox. So here we have private messages. This is just a test, so I don't think I don't think Joe will mind. We're just testing this out. But these are DMs. So you can have a private conversation between you and a certain person, certain wallet. If you want to turn it into a group chat, you can add users here or add admins. And then there are completely public ones. Kryptonio and Hands Up has been testing it out. Thanks for that. This is beta preview. Will be visible. Will created channels here be visible in final public version? Let me actually respond to that right now. Moderate. Oh. Reply. There it is. Everything. This is on preview, but the data is already on mainnet, so just be aware of. And also, if you look at his little token thing, this is Joe's cat. Also, and this is an NFT, by the way. So this is an artwork that already exists on Teia. Also, here is a random pic of a cat of... Can I tag people? I can! Holy shit. No way. Joe Ryan. That was... There it is. Dude. Joe went above and beyond with all this stuff, man. Like it's so good. Like, oh man. So yeah, think of it, right? Like you can post these little pictures. All right, see, so, you know, not messing around, it triggers tempo. This is a transaction, okay? Like make every message count, because you gotta, you know, it's... I think that's it. Well, either way, it's a picture of a cat. If it's wrong, they can correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's me, but okay. So, yeah. So we gotta work on the UI a little bit, but it's just, for the most part, it looks great, right? But this is a public channel, so it'll show up as a feed. So it's kind of like a cross between like a group chat and a forum. So if you want, you know, like I said, there's a private one and a public one. The public one will show up on the feed. The private ones, of course, you know, will just be between you and your wallets. But just a word of warning is that everything is on chain and the blockchain is public by design. We're just not showing it for convenience sake, right? So, I mean, this is true for anything you do in crypto, but just don't post sensitive or, you know, something too personal that you don't want people to see, because everything is on chain, right? So we might add encryption later on, maybe, but even then, you know, like, if you really need to take something like off the grid, just do that. You know, don't use the blockchain for that. Okay, so is that it? You know, governance thing. This is pretty old, but we have updated our proposal. We added a donation button. There's the token holder. Oh, by the way, Howdy-Do is the number one token teia holder. so if someone wants to do something about that, you know, buy more. You know, I didn't realize it, but I took a look at it a couple weeks ago. I was like, wait a minute. So far, he hasn't caused any trouble yet, so, you know, but we are closely monitoring that. It's a little weird, right? This is the copyright registration thing. We already saw that. Donate. Yep, we have something for the Teia Fountain, which sponsors or subsidizes minting costs. And our little proud thing, we got a grant from the Tezos Foundation to put on events representing Tezos and Teia. And that'll be the next thing I go into. Yeah, I've been telling people, man, this is the first time we've had a real budget, okay? This balance was like dangerously close to zero many times. And finally, oh, wow, yeah, you know, but this money is going towards art projects and art events. And you can see, looking at the timestamp, this is all pretty recent. Right, this was within the last couple of days. And we'll take a look at a few. But yeah, we came up with this sort of process of voting and approving art events. So the money we got from the foundation and Trilitech and Art on Tezos was mainly towards doing events, both in real life and in virtually. And this comes with a real budget, but in order to get the budget approved, you have to go through the multisig. This one is for Scott to be at Lisbon this year, NFC Lisbon. And we're compensating him for, you know, just travel expenses, just basic things. It's very reasonable, right? Like 645 euro. Like, I actually told him to ask for more, but you know, tell people it's too nice, you know. Sometimes like I had to push them, you know, push them a little bit to get like, yeah, you know, you need to eat and you know. Pay for expenses and whatnot, but so yeah, everyone is very reasonable about it. And once these are done, these two just need one more vote, and I think it's gonna pass. And then we're gonna start sending money out as a hopefully this week, maybe this weekend. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. This is why I have like hundreds and thousands of messages waiting for me in Discord, because we're doing events from all over the world. Jovi has like 3 different people who applied through in China. What city is this? Oh, this is a virtual event. Okay, got it. Yeah. This one is in. This might be a virtual one, but there's some in China, Mexico City. This person wants to do open up a gallery in Jamaica. Hey, that's what I want to do, but in America. All right, so anyway, you get the idea. There's a lot going on. So we did the first round and it's gonna be about we got 30,000 in US dollars for our grant. This is the first round. We're spending about 10K, you know, just to be transparent. But we have 2 more rounds coming up that we're going to be doing, and then that's what I'm going to talk about next, because going back to Empress Trash, we were talking about doing something in Decentraland, and I wanted to make some footage about it. So if you don't know what Decentraland is, it's a... Yeah, let's stop. Well, I'll just show it, it'll be easier. Jump in. Let's go. Decentraland is basically the metaverse. I really need to change my avatar. I look like a... I don't have a perm, you know? Remember a few years ago, the metaverse was like the whole thing, and then that, you know, the Zuckerberg changed his whole company to do about it, you know, to do that whole thing, and then it failed. He just shut it down.
I'll have something for me. He dared me something. I don't want to do it.
You have to.
See, like, there's people here. I was surprised because, you know, like, ironically, when like the metaverse is all like the shit, you know, and everyone thought that was the future, no one was here, man. Everyone was either just talking about it on social media but not actually logging in, or they were just gambling at the online casinos. So, but it's still well and alive, and a lot of the things that they've been doing lately is actually kind of cool. Like, this is all new. They have a much nicer map. Oh, Autoland wants to be my friend. I don't even know the guy, man. Okay, so my plot is 1169. Okay, right here. 1169. It's kind of an approximation, but jump in. So this is the tour of my plot. What's happening here? Oh, Empress has been at work. See, there you go. Coming soon, Teia Community Center, heart. That's great. So yeah, so I'm gonna, this is Decentraland. So it's basically, this is the metaverse, okay? And the metaverse got a bad rap, mostly because of Mark Zuckerberg. You know, he Enshitified it. It's very relevant to our Tezcon event, but basically he took the idea of a metaverse and then turned it into shit, and then, you know, no one takes it seriously anymore. But Decentraland really is the original, like the OG metaverse that no one really knows, no one really talks about. And it's kind of neat because, you know, these are plots owned by other people. I have no control over them. It's really their plot. Like, wow. Now these graphics look so much better than a couple years ago, you know? So they've been busy, and it's kind of neat because, like, I come back every couple months and then just to check it out, and I notice things are different. People working on different things, and yeah. So it's very much alive. And a lot of the big part of the reason why it's still alive is because they have real governance, you know, just like Tezos does. That's why I think there's a chance here we can do a little like a collab or a partnership. This is on the Ethereum chain. Like the Mana token for Decentraland is technically a Ethereum L2. And if you've seen my previous stuff, I have not much love for Ethereum these days. But this is the one project I think still has hope. And then the only reason is because they have governance. Right? It's very, very active. People are proposing new things all the time, talking about things. They have a pretty big community here. I don't know what their total size is, but it's got to be at least in thousands, right? It's about the same. Like Teia technically has about 2,500, but and then transparency, this is it. Like you can see all the budgets. Oops. They have a treasury, which is substantial, $6 million. The community is managing some pretty big budgets here. And in a decentralized way, because if you want to get funded for something, you got to get the votes. And it's the same thing we're doing, with Teia here. Same concept as the DAO. Oh, I saw a berry. Hey, someone responded to me. Oh, no, it's mine. Oh, it gave me a notification for my own comment. Okay, I understand. So, okay. Well, and yeah, so the idea is that this is all related because I'm going to be sponsoring Empress's proposal because she was asking about maybe we could do a virtual event here in Decentraland. So right now we're brainstorming about how can we turn this into sort of like a community space. And there are a lot of people from the pandemic era, but also just in general, a lot of people can't, either they don't want to or they can't go to physical events due to one reason or another. Maybe it's like a physical disability or maybe they social anxiety, or maybe they just don't want to go outside. I get that too. That was our life during the pandemic, right? But I do think there's a pretty big potential to draw a lot of people in, because if you go to I don't know, VR chat sites or Roblox, right? The idea of the metaverse is still very, very much alive, but this is the real deal where it's actually decentralized, right? It's a truly open system that's kind of underappreciated right now. So, okay, so this is mainly for the people I'm in the working group. If you're interested in joining this project, let me know, because we have a Discord channel on it, and yeah, we're going to be talking about what to do next. So if doing cool online events. I don't have a whole lot of experience with that, so yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where it goes. But this is my plot, okay, this one here, and I gave Empress builder access, so she has the ability to change the scene here. I added some other stuff here I wanted to show earlier, but right now it doesn't matter. But also the thing is that I also own this little plot here because back in the day, these plots were super expensive, and I was I found this relatively big one for a good deal, but it was cheaper because it wasn't directly connected to the road, right? If you look, they have these are public roads technically. So, but what I was able to do is buy two cheap ones. So this one was relatively cheap. This one was cheap because it's just a 1x1, right? But then I'm okay, if I own both, I can control both, right? And so here, I'm probably going to be doing something. I might put some teia.cafe stuff, I'm not sure. This used to have more stuff in it. Right now it's very empty because lots of updates, and basically a lot of my assets just kind of disappeared, unfortunately. But I don't think see it as a bad thing because it's been a while. I forgot most of the things that I did back then, so it's a time to start fresh, you know. But the idea was that this was going to replace my website, which nobody really goes to these days, you know. But if I wanted to sell music, I could have a little play button here, and then you know, there'll be a little album art, and you'll be able to buy it directly. And you can like experience. It's like another way of browsing, right? A little bit more immersive. So you know, the idea of the metaverse wasn't all bad, right? Like there was some use cases. Like, wouldn't it be cooler if you just like go to here, check out music like you do at a record store, and have that, you know, browsing experience that you just can't get on a website that's just a bunch of lists, right? But the reason why I picked that location is because it was near to the museum district here. I think it's even labeled, right? Yes, DCL Museum Zone 1. Oh, it's more than one. Some of these are new, some of these are old. There's the Doge Museum. This used to be such a cool place back in the day before Dogecoin got enshittified by you-know-who, right? It's still alive. I mean, there's some stuff. I don't know who these people are, but they seem nice. Oh man, these are nice, you know? It's just like, yeah, do only good every day. I remember that. Now, Doge means getting fired from your public job. Oh. Yeah, see? People are still doing stuff, right? And these are all individually owned, so they can do pretty much whatever they want with it. And it's just like a real neighborhood, you know? If your neighbor is doing something you don't like, you got to take it up with the DAO and file a formal complaint, you know? I don't think there's cops yet, metaverse cops yet, but, you know, that'll come one day, you know? One day there'll be something like that. Pretty sure. But yeah, you can tell, right? People put in a lot of effort. Like, this looks really nice. So that's the reason why I sold off all my Ethereum stuff, because I was just like tired of, sick of the whole thing. But this is the one thing I remembered. This looks familiar. It's from like a show. There's some big name corporations that are still on here, by the way. You know? Some of them probably sold it off, but what is this? I don't know. I guess you got to scan the QR code and find out. Oh man, what's in here? Is this a bench? Oops. Oops, I clicked through. Huh. I guess it's just a little sunroof. Okay. Got it. So maybe you can kind of see why it's still around and why it's thriving, you know? Like, there are people still here. Yeah, you see like those little red dots. People are like checking it out, and there's more than one server. There's one there, you know? It's like people are doing something on here. Like they're hanging out earlier over here, right? So I do think it has potential. It just hasn't been like tapped into. Like, the potential hasn't been unlocked yet, you know what I mean? So anyway, I think that's it. And so we're trying to do this kind of complicated thing where the plot is going to be used for a Teia hangout space, while this is really well done, by the way. Like I've made models on Decentraland before. It's not easy. So this is someone with skill, you know, with some skill who is able to do this. It's like the Met at New York, right? Sort of reminds me. But we're gonna do some events here, but we also want to kind of time it for Tezcon, and we're gonna do a virtual event. And then, yeah, so that's what the budget is for. And so we're going to vote on it. And we need the idea first. When we come up with an idea, we're going to turn it into a proposal. The team will vote on it. And hopefully, we get something people can get excited about. And then Empress will get a little bit of money to help her out with sort of the planning and, the expenses of putting on a virtual event. I don't know what that entails, so I guess I'll find out. But either way, everything's going to be transparent. Everything will be on the blockchain. As promised, it's just going to be right here, You can check out the link, but this will also be integrated in the main site very shortly. They've been updating some of the UI. Yeah. So yeah, so the grant kind of put a fire behind the team's backs, and they're like, oh no, we're getting around to a lot of updates that we probably should have done a while ago, but this gave us a good reason to get back on it, and so it's kind of nice, So in conclusion, I know everyone's talking about this. The prices in crypto sucks right now. I understand. Bitcoin drops to 72K. I saw that. Bitcoin first aid. Yeah, right. Like, oh no. But I mean, honestly, right? Tezos going from like 35 cents to 30 cents it's not going to make a difference, right? In the bigger picture, it might even go all the way down to a quarter. That's a kind of what I was saying that since last year. Nobody wanted to believe me, and I didn't want to believe myself, but I'm like, yeah, because there's not much going on in the industry, if you're being honest. The only place that's building real things right now I can think of is like Tezos, of course, Decentraland. This is one for sure. There's a project called Gridcoin that's worth checking out. Proof of work is pretty much obsolete and it's useless. It's just a huge waste of energy. But Gridcoin solves this because now you can get paid to do scientific research. So all that number crunching actually goes to a real, something useful, right? And this is sort of the utility that the industry has been waiting for so long. And there's only a few projects that really qualify as that. And, Tezos is one of them. Maybe Filecoin, maybe, sort of. Because storage is, decentralized storage is actually a very potentially useful thing if we can get adoption. So, anyway, hang in there, right? just don't look at the price, man. Just assume it's going to go to zero. Just do dollar cost averaging. That's still the smartest thing anyone can do as an investor. And just forget about it, Try not to touch it. Don't sell. You know, if it's like maybe it's not going to affect you directly, like in terms of like financials. It's different for me because I need, like, I have to pay attention to this stuff just to survive because I've been living off of investments, right? But for most people who have regular jobs, like if they just dollar cost averaging, like you'll be fine. Like that's how I made my money in Ethereum like years ago. Back when I had like a real job, so to speak, right? So just don't panic. Just don't panic. Just do the thing. And in a lot of ways, these dips are actually a good thing because it gets rid of a lot of the vultures and the grifters out there. You know, most of them have like kind of moved on to like try to scam people with AI, but like there's still a few left in crypto. You gotta be careful. Yeah, even with the Voice of Iran project, there was a few people trying to like scam people, right? Like, be careful, just be careful. I don't want to like make everyone paranoid, but you should be paranoid because some people will be like, oh my God, my family is struggling so much in Iran since the war, and war hurts. You know, it's really like, like it sounds weird because it sounds like they're making it up, right? And a lot of people do, and then people are like, oh, I feel bad I need to feed my child, and you don't want to be a bad person telling them no, right? And that's how they get you, right? All right, well, anyway, before I start rambling too much, that's about it. And yeah, I'll post these videos. Maybe it'll help some people understand what's going on, but yeah, there's a lot going on, and you know, Teia's in the middle.